What if the Philippines had a leader like Lee Kuan Yew since independence? Would the Pearl of the Orient have risen to become the Singapore of the Pacific? What if the Philippines, upon gaining independence in 1946, had a leader like Lee Kuan Yew, a visionary who prioritized discipline, meritocracy, and nation-building above all else? What if, instead of political chaos and corruption, the country had been guided by a firm, strategic, and incorruptible hand, transforming it into one of the most advanced nations in Asia today? Imagine it. The year is 1946. The ruins of World War II still smoke over Manila. The nation is free but fragile, politically fragmented, economically devastated, and socially divided. Instead of rebuilding on shaky foundations, a man rises, a leader like Lee Kuan Yew, pragmatic, sharp, and fiercely patriotic. He sees not just what the Philippines is, but what it could become. A thriving hub of commerce, innovation, and discipline in Southeast Asia. He doesn't promise miracles. He demands sacrifice. He understands that democracy cannot flourish without order, and freedom is meaningless without responsibility. So his first mission? Clean governance. Corruption, which had begun to creep into politics, is crushed with swift, decisive reforms. No one is above the law, not politicians, not military leaders, not businessmen. The public watches in awe as justice becomes not a dream, but a daily reality. Foreign investors begin to notice. While other nations struggle with instability, the Philippines demonstrate something unseen in the region: stability with integrity. Policies favor long-term development, not short-term populism. Instead of political dynasties, there are merit-based technocrats, people chosen for their brilliance, not their family names. The Philippines slowly becomes known not just for its natural beauty, but for its disciplined, efficient, and forward-thinking governance. Now imagine the 1960s. While Singapore was rising under Lee Kuan Yew's leadership, so too does the Philippines under its visionary leader. The ports of Manila rival Singapore's. Makati becomes the Asian Wall Street. Cebu transforms into a manufacturing powerhouse. Filipino engineers, scientists, and innovators are trained abroad, not to migrate permanently, but to return home with skills that transform industries. Education becomes the beating heart of progress. The leader knows that true independence is not just political, it's intellectual. He reforms the education system, merging Asian discipline with Western innovation. English and Filipino remain strong, but now every child learns technology, economics, and the art of global competition. By the 1980s, the Philippines is producing not just workers for export, but innovators, doctors, and scientists who stay to build the nation. Infrastructure rises across the islands. Highways, bridges, and airports link Luzon to Mindanao, creating one interconnected archipelago of opportunity. Poverty, while not erased, steadily declines. The middle class swells. Slums are replaced by planned housing built through public-private partnerships that reward efficiency, not greed. In this alternate history, the Philippines avoids the cycle of dictatorship and revolution. No martial law, no people power uprisings born from frustration. Instead, political transitions are peaceful, disciplined, and guided by a strong civil service. The military remains loyal to the Constitution, not personalities. Religion inspires moral strength, not political division. The leader's foreign policy mirrors Lee Kuan Yew's philosophy: small but smart diplomacy. The Philippines plays both sides of the Cold War strategically, maintaining independence while benefiting from trade and investment from both East and West. While the Vietnam War rages, the Philippines remains neutral, offering itself as a center for peace negotiations and regional cooperation. By the 1990s, the nation stands tall. Singapore may still be a shining city-state, but the Philippines, with its vast population, land, and resources, is the giant of Southeast Asia. Filipino companies expand globally. OFWs become CEOs abroad, not domestic helpers. Instead of exporting labor, the Philippines exports technology, renewable energy, and advanced manufacturing. Tourism explodes, not because of cheap labor or beaches, but because of safety, efficiency, and culture. The Philippines becomes known as the heart of Asia, where East meets West in perfect harmony. But let's look deeper. Could such a leader have truly succeeded? Discipline demands sacrifice. A leader like Lee Kuan Yew often faced criticism for being strict, even authoritarian. In a society used to emotional politics and freedom of expression, could Filipinos have accepted that kind of leadership? The Philippines' democratic spirit runs deep, emotional, passionate, and personal. A leader who demanded sacrifice, silence, and strict order might have faced fierce opposition. Protests could erupt, media could rebel, and opposition leaders might accuse him of being a dictator. The balance between discipline and democracy would have been the true test. Yet if he managed to win the hearts of the people, if he convinced them that order was the path to freedom, then perhaps the Philippines could have achieved the same miracle as Singapore, but on a far grander scale. Imagine Metro Manila today, not drowning in traffic and smog, but gleaming with automated trains and green skyscrapers. Imagine provinces no longer neglected, connected by modern railways and digital infrastructure. Imagine universities ranked among the best in the world, where Filipino scientists pioneer breakthroughs in technology, medicine, and space exploration. Imagine a Philippines where corruption is a historical term, not a daily headline. A nation where the government serves, not rules, where merit, not connections, defines success. In this timeline, the Philippines leads ASEAN, guiding Southeast Asia toward unity and innovation. China respects it, the US values it, and its people, from Luzon to Mindanao, live with dignity, stability, and pride. Of course, perfection is never real. Even in this imagined utopia, challenges would remain. Income inequality, cultural diversity, and the constant pressure to stay globally competitive. But the difference would be in mindset. The Filipino people would no longer see themselves as victims of history, but as authors of destiny. That's the true power of leadership, not in controlling people, but in transforming how they think. A leader like Lee Kuan Yew could have made the Philippines believe that discipline, honesty, and unity were not foreign ideas, but Filipino strengths waiting to be awakened. So, what if that had happened? Would we now see the Philippines as the Singapore of the Pacific, or something even greater, a multicultural superpower shaping the world's future? What do you think? Could a leader like Lee Kuan Yew have thrived in the Philippines? Would Filipinos have embraced his strict but visionary style? Or would democracy have resisted discipline? Share your thoughts below. Your opinion might rewrite history. History teaches us that nations are shaped not by luck, but by leadership. By those rare individuals who turn chaos into order and potential into progress. The Philippines had everything: location, talent, and heart. Maybe all it ever needed was the right leader at the right time. So as we reflect on this what if, remember, the future is still unwritten. Perhaps the next great Filipino leader will rise, not from privilege, but from purpose, ready to lead with both wisdom and will. If you enjoyed this exploration of alternate history, subscribe for more mind-bending what-if scenarios. Like, share, and comment what version of the Philippines you'd want to see next. A spacefaring nation, a united archipelago, or a global powerhouse of innovation.